Hello, this is our practice video for multiplying positive and negative numbers. Let's start with this picture of the triangle. This is a little tool that you can use to help remind you about when you multiply positive and negative numbers, if the answer is positive or negative. So for instance, if I'm multiplying two numbers together and both those numbers are negative, I would cover up with my finger, I would cover up the negative signs because I have two negatives, right? And so the remaining sign is the plus sign. So multiplying two negatives would give you a positive answer. All right? So let's say that we were multiplying one negative and one positive. So I would cover up one of the negative signs and the positive sign, and the remaining sign tells me that my answer would be negative. All right? Now, this only works for multiplying two numbers. If you're multiplying several numbers together, then what we want to do is identify how many negative signs we have. So if I have an odd number of negative signs, then my answer is going to be negative. So if I have 1, 3, 5, etc., those are all odd numbers. That's how many negative numbers I have in my multiplication problem, then the answer is going to be negative. If I have an even number of negatives, then my answer will be positive. Okay? So if I have 2 negatives or 4 negatives or 6 negatives, etc., there'll always be one negative to cancel with another one. So my answer will end up positive. All right, so here, multiplying these three numbers, I have one negative. All right, so one negative is an odd number. Therefore, my answer is going to be a negative answer. And then multiply the numbers, 3 times 8 times 2. So if you multiply that correctly, you should get 48. So the answer is negative 48. Here's our next example. Look at the number of negatives. How many are there? That's right, there are 2. 2 is an even number. So is my answer going to be positive or negative? That's right, it'll be positive because the 2 will cancel each other out. Now let's multiply. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. So the answer is positive 60. All right, let's try one more example. Count the negative signs. How many are there? That's right, there are 3. 3 is an odd number. So the answer will be what? Positive or negative? That's right, it'll be negative. All right, now let's multiply. 10 times 1, well, that's 10. Times 2, that's 20. Times 2, that's 40. Times 3, 40 times 3, it's 120. So our answer is negative 120. All right, here is the self-quiz. There are 3 problems to do. I want you to pause your video, find your answers, then restart to check your answers. If you get all these correct, then you are ready for multiplying positive and negative numbers. All right, pause your video. Welcome back from pausing the video. Let's check your answers. All right, so negative 20, 36, and negative 24. How'd you do? All right, well, thank you for listening, and as always, read some books.